Hello my wonderful guardians, interesting developments again this week, some nice story beats as they're called turning up. Well, it turns out, first of all, that old Zavala, someone was trying to assassinate him, a scion no less, who maybe is behind it, possibly Keitel, we do not know. But Crow was actually hiding in the bushes. I don't know what he was doing there, he was just watching him. And then he sort of shouted out to Zavala and said, "Oi, look out!" But he recognised Crow's face for some reason. Crow didn't have his mask on. Perhaps that's kind of something to do with the pandemic these days, where people don't want to put their masks on and bad things happen to them. Anyway, Zavala killed the scion in the face, and he was safe. But of course, last week, we found out that there was going to be a plot, an attempt on his life. Oh, look at these little berries here with the crow's eyes. They all look like screaming faces to me, or is it just my deranged imagination? Anyway, quite a nice little cutscene, something that I wasn't expecting this week. So the story does seem to be carrying on and on. That scion is going to die now. There we are, dead scion. Now, something interesting. I don't know if you follow Twitter at all, but there's an account popped up recently for Keitel herself, and she's been tweeting this and that. And one of her tweets, somebody said, "Oh, you, what the bloody hell do you think you're doing trying to kill Commander Zavala?" And she said, "If I wanted to kill Zavala, I would look him in the eyes when I did it. A warrior deserves no less." So what she's suggesting is that the scion that was going to kill Zavala there hasn't come from her. And I've got to be honest with you, the dialogue choices that do turn up throughout this week's quest suggest to me maybe traitors in our midst, or even the fact that Zavala does seem to have changed and is different, because Saladin and Osiris do seem to be teaming up to maybe take him out. I don't know why, I've got a feeling that they are behind the scion attempt at least, or at least that's something to get the ball rolling. We'll show you this as we're going, because there's a message from Saladin when you get to the helm this week, so have a little listen to that. And then we're off to do the actual quest itself. It's a much shorter quest this week than we had last week, nothing so in-depth. Basically, you've got to get 42 Cabal gold, as usual. The best way to do that is by farming Nightfall strikes. They give you 14 to 16 pieces of Cabal gold as you're going, but probably if you've been doing Battlegrounds this week, you've already got it in your stash. So by the time you pick up challenges proving 5, you'll already complete that step. And while you're at the helm, it's worth looking at the mods they've got for sale. Don't forget to pick up your bounties too. We've got Elemental Light. I neglected to pick this one up first. This is the one that actually spawns the elemental wells, so if you haven't got that, it's good to pick that one up. And the other one we've got is Font of Wisdom, which means that when you do pick up elemental wells that drop, you'll get a boost to your intellect, which basically means an increase in recharge to your super. So they're both very handy ones to pick up. I believe they're the last of the 6 that are available. We've also got some large seasonal challenges this week, and when I say large, I mean that instead of the 3 medium rewards, which boost the war table reputation, we get 2 large ones, but it still kind of amounts to 3 unlocks really. So I've already gotten the Cabal gold, so I cashed that one in, and I upgraded the end part of my hammer so I could get some glimmer when I open up a chest, which was quite good. I didn't quite realize that, so I'm going to finish off that row a little bit later on once I've unlocked the second weekly challenge. And the glimmer unlock shows on the hammer itself, so once you pick a medallion to go into the hammer, then another thing opens, and then you can pick from the 3 tiers of the glimmer rewards. So you can see I've got my glimmering rune there, which will give me more glimmer when I complete the battleground. And then there's some really interesting dialogue at the end between Osiris and Saladin again. Very heavily anti-Zavala.
I was wrong to sit out the fight against Dominus Gaul. The Iron Lords would not have left enough survivors to allow the Cabal to rally. This isn't the Zavala I know. He was a fighter, a survivor. The city has made him soft.
He's a politician first and a soldier second. This is a war. One wonders if it should be led by warriors.
See what I mean? There's definitely a turn on Zavala on the cards. And it's also been talked about that it may be under the influence of Savathun. However, people have heard the crow whistling Savathun's tune when he's standing around in the helm doing bugger all. Does that mean that he's actually under the influence of Savathun? I think there's going to be loads of layers of this onion to unpeel. I like the word onion. Anyway, then there is another cutscene between Osiris and Crow.
You were seen. At that distance, in the dark, no. Enough to put a name to a dead man's face. The commander told Ikora. Thankfully, he passed you off as a hallucination. An assassin was inside our walls. I had to do something. This isn't the first time an enemy has infiltrated the city, and it won't be the last.
Well, he seems really cheesed off to me, and he just ends up giving the crow a massive bollocking about being rubbish. But he just seems to be, well, overly angry about the crow's identity being, well, you know, exposed. Why is that? I mean, really, what difference does it make? I just find it all very strange. Something is not right here. And I think Keitel might actually end up being an ally for Zavala, not an enemy. We could be all turning in on ourselves here, folks. It's incredibly interesting. Well, anyway, I'll let you watch the rest of that cutscene. And it's also quite funny as well when you go and speak to Crow, because he's like a 15-year-old who's just had a bollocking from his parents. That made me laugh. He's a very good character. I'm really enjoying the way the story is going. Don't forget to go and collect your war table reputation, your large ones. 2 gins, barman. Large ones. And then upgrade your hammer as you see fit. There's Proving Room 2 I've decided to go for, which unlocks a chance to award extra Cabal gold from the tribute chest, which is good. And the second one allows extra hammer charges by smashing the chest as well. So both really useful. And let's take a look at the Eververse store, what we've got for Bright Dust this week. Oh, I can decrypt an Eververse engram. Oh, I've got an Andy's Peak Hunter. I haven't got a clue. 44 steel. Very nice indeed. Right, let's check this baby out. Copper brand for 40 Bright Dust. Let's see how that looks. I don't know. I look like a hot water boiler. Here we go. Hot water tank, rather. Heartbreaking entrance. There we go. That's quite nice if you like heartbreaking entrances. Fluid dance. Fire it up. It's quite slinky, isn't it? Yes. Look at my warlock's midriff and his toilet roll holder on the back. Oh no, actually it's cling film. That's what he's carrying. Let's go back and have a look at what we've got here. Ninja Vanish. That's quite a nifty one if you haven't got it. It's quite short though. I suppose it's alright. It's reasonably funny, although I wasn't laughing. What else do we have here? Of course, we've got all our boons. Let's go down and have a look at the Bright Dust for sure. Oh, I haven't got this one. Flag on the play. Let's have a look. I see it's a sport-related one, which generally makes me think, bollocks to this, I don't want it. Oh, actually, was that a shuttlecock? It does look like a shuttlecock, you know. Anyway, let's go on to the next one. Awkward 5, rather entertaining. Hey! I quite like that. Suits me down to the ground. And my pyromaniac. Okay, Gigante's shell. It is! It's huge! My god, it looks like a Duplo version of a ghost. He must be huffing and puffing underneath that lot. We've got Matter Flare for the Lunification boots. Well, they're quite nice, aren't they, actually? I like the material. Very good. I've got this ship, but let's have a look at it anyway. The Asteria Blade. Yes, reasonably pretty. And, ooh, we've got a weapon ornament for your Trinity Ghoul. The funny thing about bow ornaments is they barely make a difference, do they? Which is quite strange. And then we've got the Crow Projection 2, which is quite nice, but nothing's going to be replacing my Indiana Jones fedora, so you can forget that. There's that heartbreaking entrance again. We've got a box of tricks. Let's have a look at that, baby. Ba-ching, very nice. Signal processed. There it is. Oh, that's quite pretty too. Let's have a look at these shaders. Rustberry. That is very nice, but it's funny, isn't it? It's more black and white. I can't see much brown on the accents there, but there we go. That's quite nice. Neopop wave. Ooh, that's... I quite like that. Yes, I'm off to a party there. shitting slate, or shiting, or kiting actually is what it's called. I look like my nan with a house coat on going to the shops. And for this one, First Light. Well, I quite like the Marty McFly shimmer. That's quite nice. But there we go. That's it for the Eververse this week. Let's have a look and see what we've got for the Nightfall this week. Here we go. It is the Insight Terminus. Oh, God. Well, there we go. But the weapon this week is the Palindrome hand cannon. So there's that to farm there. Although we're not doubling up on any doodads this week, unfortunately. But there is double infamy on Gambit if you're interested in doing some of that lark. Plenty more videos coming up this week. A few build guides as well that I'm branching out on to have a little go of. And so if you want to know when those videos are going to be dropping, please drop me a subscribe and click that notification bell, ding ding, so you know when my parps have dropped into the interweb world, and drop me a like as well. And if you're feeling incredibly generous, I've got a buy me a coffee page where you can go, here you are peasant, there's a pence. Thank you so much indeed for watching. I shall see you all again very soon. Sausage out.